Hi, I'm Charlie. Today, I'm watching Shameless. I'm just fucking with ya. I wasn't really gonna do an introduction. So I want to start by saying that the US version of Shameless has a very special place in my heart. I didn't watch much of the UK version, so I don't actually have that much source material to base it off of. But I have seen Shameless, the US version at least, through and through at least a few times. To me, each season represents a change in the characters. You know, we slowly watch this family, this dysfunctional family and the alcoholic father grow and evolve through each season. And it represents a beautiful unity between these completely different people who take different paths, who still come together at the end of it. And they're still a family, despite everything they go through. They still come out on top as a family. Also, I fucking hate Frank. And Fiona. Fuck them too. Fuck them entirely. Also, for every series and every finale, I'm going to create a tier list of how the characters stand in my eyes. I will discuss who I like, who I don't like, and how my opinions change from the start of the series. So let's get into it. The US adaptation of Shameless was originally created by... Hang on a second. John Wells. John Wells created Shameless. So, before I sit down and review the first season, I want to go through my tier list I've created. Okay, so here's the first tier list I made for the first season of Shameless. Obviously, at the top, I've put Lip and Ian. The chemistry between Lip and Ian whilst they were young was insane. Just Lip finding out Ian was gay in general and the way they handled that, brilliant. Some of the best acting I've ever seen between the two. Second to top tier, I've put Mickey and Jimmy, or Steve. How can you not like Mickey? He's Mickey. His character only gets better from the first series. How can you not like Mickey? He's Mickey. Mickey and Ian, Mickey. He's Mickey. As for Jimmy, he's Jimmy. He looks good, he acts good, he's Jimmy. Come on. In the tolerable section, I've put Frank. I've made it evidently clear that I do not like Frank. I despise Frank, and that's the point of his character. You're meant to hate him, he's an arsehole, but at the same time, you feel for him, and you feel sorry for him. I, of course, hate Frank altogether. I've also put Karen on this list, on the tolerable section. I hate Karen. I hate the bitch she turns into, and she deserves everything she got to her. I hate her as a character, I hate her actor, I hate her. Now, you might question why I've put Kevin and Veronica on the same level as Karen and Frank, if I hate them two characters so much. I've put them there purely because I know it's the first season, but they don't have a lot of character development. They're sort of just there. With Lip and Ian, they got a shit ton of character development. We learnt a lot of things about them and they processed it. But with Kevin and Veronica, we just don't get that. We don't get that from a lot of characters. Debbie barely has any development, Carl barely has any development, and Liam's just a corner piece. But it's a bit disappointing to see that Kevin and Veronica didn't get the justice they deserved for this season. Right at the bottom, we have the characters I fucking despise more than Frank. More than Frank. Let's start off with Debbie. Debbie. I hate Debbie through nearly every season. I fucking despise Debbie. She's such a shit character. She has no redeeming qualities later in the seasons. She doesn't do anything, she doesn't add anything. Later on in the seasons, Carl becomes a drug dealer, Carl buys back the house when they need it. Frank, he actually does something. He redeems himself by becoming... At one point he gets a job, and he becomes an actual member of society. He gets into all sorts of shit. Debbie doesn't really do anything. She's just sort of there. As for Sheila, Sheila's just fucking annoying. I don't like Sheila at all, for the pure fact she's just fucking annoying. Her character doesn't serve much of a purpose at all. She's just there, and then she fucks off. That's the whole point. But my fucking biggest problem with this show is Fiona. Whoo! I fucking despise, and I say this a lot about all the characters, but I, honest to God, through all of my heart, despise Fiona. I hate her. She goes from this character who brings all the family together and looks after them, and to her right she takes over the parental role of all the characters. But she turns into such a cunt. I get the point, okay? She's bored of looking after the kids. She wants her own life and shit. So she goes off and does her own thing. But she doesn't have to be such a bitch about it. Later on, when we do the next seasons, there's a part where they all of the kids, they get mixed up with a bit of meth that their mum left them. And then they have to turn to Fiona, because she's the only one who didn't take it, and they turn to her for help. The way she responds to that situation is so fucking bitchy. Like, she didn't do anything to deserve that amount of control within this group. She told him it was wrong, that's it. She didn't try to stop them. She didn't do anything in her power. She doesn't deserve that much control over them. She doesn't deserve praise for helping them out. And ultimately, all in all, it's Frank that fucking solves it, not her. I just hate Fiona so much. I hate all of her boyfriends, I hate all of her character arcs. I absolutely hate what they did to Fiona. Despise it. But I digress. Let's just get into watching the first episode.